Honey, I'm glad we're doing this tonight. Trust is one of those topics that every family struggles with at some point. And honestly, I don't think enough people talk about how to rebuild it once it's been broken.
Absolutely, dear. A lot of families pretend everything is okay after a fight or betrayal, but underneath, things are still fragile. We're hoping this conversation will help people go beyond surface apologies and rebuild true connection again.
And we're speaking not just as a couple, but as parents too. Trust issues can show up in our marriage, with our children, even between siblings in the home.
Let's start by talking about what trust actually is. For me, trust is the feeling of safety and consistency. It's knowing that your heart is safe with someone, that they will keep their word and treat you with respect.
Yes. And trust doesn't mean perfection. It means reliability. I don't need you to be perfect. I just need to know that you're honest with me and you're willing to repair when things go wrong.
That's powerful. Especially for kids. They don't expect perfect parents. They just want to know that mom and dad will be there, will listen, and will take responsibility when they mess up.
That's where conflict becomes dangerous. If it's never resolved, kids start to build walls. And if trust isn't rebuilt, the family can function like roommates instead of a unit.
Can we talk about that moment a few years ago, the time when we had a major argument about parenting decisions and it created a rift between us?
Yeah. I remember it well. It was about discipline. You felt I was being too hard on our son, and I felt like you were undermining me. We had that big fight in front of the kids, and I walked out.
I'll never forget the look on their faces. Our daughter came to me later and asked, "Is Daddy still mad at us?" That's when it hit me, our conflict wasn't just about us. It was impacting the whole house.
And I knew I broke trust with you too. Walking out like that. It wasn't just about cooling off. It made you feel abandoned.
It did. But what helped was when you came back and actually said, "I was wrong. I didn't handle it well." You didn't just apologize. You changed your tone, your approach, and we started having calmer conversations around discipline.
And you opened up too. You told me how it reminded you of your own childhood, feeling unseen when your parents disagreed in front of you. That gave me so much more understanding.
You can't rebuild trust if you won't first admit that someone was hurt. Often in families, people sweep things under the rug. They say, "Let's move on," but there is no healing if you don't validate the pain.
Right. Whether it's a child who feels left out, or a spouse who feels betrayed, you have to stop and say, "I see you. I hear you. I understand this hurt you."
Sometimes, that's all a person needs to begin to heal, to be heard and validated.
Taking responsibility is hard, especially when we feel defensive. But nothing rebuilds trust faster than someone saying, "That was my fault."
Even if the situation was messy and two-sided, you can still own your part. When I've done that with our kids, "I'm sorry I yelled. That wasn't fair." They respond with softness.
And between us, when we own our words and actions without blaming each other, we create space for real connection.
After a conflict, you have to talk about it. And not just once. Sometimes rebuilding trust takes multiple gentle conversations where emotions are unpacked layer by layer.
And in those talks, listen more than you speak. Ask things like, "How did that make you feel? What can I do differently? Do you feel safe with me now?"
Those questions help repair emotional safety.
A shallow "I'm sorry" won't do. Apologies that rebuild trust must be specific.
Exactly. Don't say sorry if you were hurt. That's not ownership. Say, "I'm sorry for doing this, I know it made you feel this, and I regret it deeply."
Apologies that name the action, the impact, and the commitment to do better, those are healing.
Trust isn't rebuilt in a moment. It's rebuilt in consistent actions over time. Show up. Be present. Follow through on promises.
Trust is like a bank account. Every time you keep your word, you deposit. Every time you lie or disappear emotionally, you withdraw. Rebuilding means making small deposits daily.
Especially with children, they watch actions more than words. They know when your apology is real by how you treat them tomorrow.
Sometimes the person who was hurt also has to let go of resentment. That doesn't mean forgetting, but it means making the decision to forgive and try again.
We rebuild trust best when both people are invested in healing, not punishing, but restoring.
Let's talk specifically about trust between parents and kids. Because I've learned, children have very soft hearts. But if we break their trust too often, they begin to harden.
That's true. Things like breaking promises, yelling too often, or not showing up when they need us, those things add up. Kids start believing, I can't count on mom or dad.
But the good news is, kids are also incredibly forgiving. They don't need perfect parents. They need parents who apologize and grow.
We've had moments when we sat down with our kids and said, I didn't handle it well. Can we try again? And you know what? Their faces light up. They feel seen.
That's rebuilding trust, one honest moment at a time.
Trust in marriage is sacred. And when it's broken, whether by words, neglect, or deeper betrayal, healing takes time, but it is possible.
It takes honesty, accountability, prayer, support, and commitment to the long haul.
We've had seasons when we felt distant. Not because of a big betrayal, but because of accumulated small breaks in trust, harsh words, avoidance, silence.
What helped us was returning to our commitment. Sitting down and saying, let's fix this. I still choose you.
For us, our faith has been key in learning how to forgive and rebuild trust.
Yes. God shows us grace, even when we don't deserve it. That's how we've learned to show grace to each other.
Forgiveness isn't always instant. But when you invite God into your healing journey, you find strength to love again, to trust again.
And you model that for your kids too. That even when people mess up, restoration is possible.
Let's give families a few takeaways to work with this week.
Here are 5 small things you can do to rebuild trust. 1. Keep your promises. Even the small ones. 2. Say I'm sorry and mean it. 3. Check in regularly, like how are we doing? 4. Be where you say you will be. 5. Celebrate reconnection. A hug. A smile. A note.
And never underestimate the power of a consistent presence. Just showing up, every day, in love and humility, that's how trust is rebuilt.
Families can be broken, but they can also be rebuilt. Don't let one season of pain define your entire story.
You can start again. You can heal. Even if trust feels shattered, restoration is possible, one choice at a time.
So if you're in a season where trust has been broken, don't give up. Take the first step. Have the hard conversation. Say the apology. Be honest about your pain.
And always remember, your family is worth the fight. Love is worth rebuilding.
Thank you for watching. If this encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope today.